and welcome back to Two Cheers, One Chat. We are your hosts, Derry Cox.
Rudolph Thurman.
First, thank God for yet another episode.
Yes.
Thank God for allowing us to be able to do this again. Thank you all for your love and your support, continued support. We appreciate it very much. It's 2022, and we're now getting the ball rolling.
Yes,
so
that's
much
right.
to bring to you. Let's see. 2021 was a good year for us as well, and we'll never forget those that are still no longer with us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we definitely have to. Those that we lost, our prayers go out to, all the family, all the friends that lost people and still coping, with the loss. Our prayers definitely go out to you for sure.
Yes. So we're gonna start. I didn't thank God. Did I? Did I thank God?
Well, if you're not sure, you can definitely thank him again.
Yes, exactly.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to thank him again for another opportunity to come in here and do yet another episode of Two Cheers, One Chat. We are really excited. We have loads of stuff to bring to you this year.
Yes, we do.
In the next couple of months, we're both authors, as most of you know. We have a lot of good things to share about our writing. We can't wait to share our new books with you.
Upcoming books.
That's going to be out soon, sooner than you think. Don't worry about it. But it'll be out. As I always say, timing is perfect.
Stay tuned.
Nothing before it's time, for me at least, right? but all is going to be well. We'll be fine with that. We're going to start off today's episode, and I'm going to let my amazing co-host here take much of the lead for this one, since we're talking about boys from
men.
boys to men. Boys be from boys and
Growing into men.
going into the manhood. Yes, we would want to say.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that on this episode. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but we'll try to make it.
Yeah, we're gonna speak and share our opinions and our views and our thoughts, and have a very thorough dialogue, conversation. Because we know that this is a topic that is very, very important and needs to be talked about, just like any other topic that we have done on here. So that's why.
Things that we're passionate about. We're always talking about. And just to have these are my big cue cards, right? They're not little, they're big. But I have some questions that I wanted to ask Rudy here, so that he can lead into, building on this conversation.
Sure.
Boys to men, teaching and learning about masculinity in an age of change. I'm a little tight-tongued because my Guyanese accent sometimes brain. I'm like,
it's
whatever.
Okay.
But
it's fine with me.
Yeah, fine with me too. Okay, so what do boys in America think about being boys today? What do they imagine is expected of them? Whom do they look up to, and how are they navigating the transition from being boys to becoming men? I'm just going to read a little thing here.
Okay.
That I have written. Well, whatever. Rudy knows I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And anybody that's close to me knows, I'm a little, whatever. Anyway, the past 50 years have redefined what it means to be a female in America. Girls today are told that they can do anything, be anyone. They've absorbed the message. And, believe it or not, they're outperforming boys in school at every level. But it isn't just about performance. To be a girl today is to be the beneficiary of decades of conversation about the complexities of womanhood, its many forms and expressions. Boys, though, have been left behind. To commensurate movement has emerged to help them navigate towards a full expression of their gender. Right? It's no longer enough to be a man. We no longer even know what that means.
Yes.
So let's talk about gender and masculinity, right?
Okay.
What does it mean to be a man? And much of that sometimes is determined by biology. How much is influenced by society we live in, and how much control do we even have over the ways we behave? So, where do you want to begin?
Well, you had mentioned about for boys, like young boys, like what is like for them, right? Being young boys. So if we're talking, let's say, like, what age would you say?
I would say let's start at 10.
Okay, so that's a very, very young age, and I feel like for a boy that's 10, he's still learning, still finding himself. You're in school, so you're around other young boys, so you're seeing ways that they are, seeing ways that how they behave, and the thing, like, with school, it's like everybody's coming together, and you're seeing how that person is probably based off of teachings that they may have got inside their house, right? So you're playing with your classmates around different times, and I don't feel like there's much pressure in terms of learning who you are, like at 10, like, because it's still, to me, the early stages of development. So I feel like a 10-year-old, where their mind is at, it's just fun. Everything is just fun. We're just playing games. We're just I don't feel like they're taking in too much stuff in terms of deepness, and in terms of maturity. I feel like the things, like with maturity, and they start discovering themselves, I feel like that goes more into like 12 and 13, but for 10, depending on the 10-year-old too, right? Because it's like,
I was just about to say, depending on the environment, the home. Some homes at 8 years old, you better know how to at least cook. I mean, it depends on the environment too, right? And I say cook because in the West Indian, like they do that from a young age. There are certain responsibilities that you have to do at 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
It's not only about school, but it's about cleaning up. It's about keeping your surroundings clean. It's about even learning how to cook.
Right, chores.
So it depends on the environment you're in. Kind of like from there you'll see the molding start for some people. I don't know how it is over here in America, but and even to speak to what you're saying about they're playing games and stuff, like, it depends again on their environment, where they're in, where they're at, because there are things that happen. You remember that boy that got shot in the park, Trey? What was his name? The guy with the toy gun. It's like so many things now at this point where you have to, like, start teaching them from a very young age, even from the age of 8, where they can understand, right? Because there's so many different things that are happening in society that we still have to sit our boys down and our girls and talk to them about stuff that we should have to talk to them at the age of 8. Safety, right? And where they are, and how to school and straight home, and we still have to do those things now, and so they get to play and stuff like that. But we all, in the household, everybody's, because of what's going on in society and what's going around them, you still have to, people are still teaching their boys, like, don't go here. So they have other things to think about. They kind of like start to mature earlier now than they would have a couple years ago.
Because the access, we have access to more things. Now. So and
more things are happening to black boys. So I mean, it's like it's fun. They have games and stuff to play with, but they also have to be told about what's going on in around them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we may want to think that everywhere we're talking about games and playing,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we still have to realize that moms are like really struggling to deal with the fact that they have to even worry about their child at 7,
Yeah.
8 years going
Yeah.
to the park, going to the store, and so it's kind of like it's a sad situation where the kids aren't allowed to be kids anymore. The boys aren't allowed, and it's like the environment, right?
Got
The
you.
environment that they're in, you have to like act like if they're like 30 because
Yeah.
of the surroundings,
Yeah.
because of fear. for
And it
what
wasn't like that. It wasn't
Right.
like that before. You see how we was talking about like maybe the games now, and the toy guns. When we were younger, that was a norm for us, right? We're running outside like with our water guns, and we're just playing, right? So we know that we're just having fun. You can't really do that today, or
Right.
you really see that, too many young boys running outside into the street carelessly with water guns and stuff, because I'm pretty sure some of the parents, they told them like, okay, times have changed and you don't want to be outside doing something like that because it's going to get mistaken they're going to say that it looked real, and I'm not trying to lose my son,
Right.
because you thought that it looked real. And another thing I want to add, with playing with friends, or just being around friends, even at that age when you're outside, you also have to be careful of those friends, because you might have some friends that may do something and may get you in trouble and get you involved. So
Right.
so even learning at 10 or 11 the environment or the types of friends to keep around, like I feel like it's still fine to have that conversation with a boy at this age, at that age that we said. We don't have to wait till they become teenagers, because every child's level of advancement is different. So if you teach them about, just being aware of your surroundings and the friends you keep, then they'll have like this knowledge at an early age. And you'll see as you grow, you still have to apply that in our later ages, with seeing the environment of people that you're around and just making sure that they don't lead you into any kind of trouble, lead you into the wrong path.
Yeah, and getting on to their like teenage years, it can be tough for these boys out there, and it's a lot, and it's a lot to keep to have to deal with, as a mother. You worry from the time your children step. So sometimes they only have to step out of the house, but you're already worrying, because, like I said, as a parent, right? For me as a mother, constantly worrying about who the child is, who my son is going to be around, or who my daughter is going to be around. But we're basically talking about boys today, boys to men. So, coming into the wrong crowd, being around the wrong people, have to worry about the cops taking them, seeing something that's really not there, and whatever
Stereotypes.
It's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, that we have to be mindful for as moms and as parents in general when it comes to our young boys. There's so much pressure on them, even finding out who they are, like really coming to fact with who they are,
identity,
right? Enjoying their teenage years. It become a battle for them. Do I join this gang? Do I join this other gang? It's like at home you're being told to be tough and be ready and don't cry. You're being and all the crazy words that get shown at the boys for not really expressing their emotion. That doesn't make them anything else that, whatever. People are going to be whatever, whenever. When they come to terms with what side they're on, and we can talk about, homosexuality and stuff like that, it's still their choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know what we expect, from men, from boys.
Right.
You're a boy, you're born as a boy, but God is in charge of all that. I'm going to bring him in all the time.
Right. Right.
We do not let them stifle how they feel, because then when they get older, and they're in a relationship, they're not open to having discussions. They're not open to communication. They stifle everything down out inside, and that is a lot of anger that builds up.
Yes.
It suffocates people. Whether we want to think about it or not. Not because they're a man, they can't shed a tear.
Yeah.
They're human.
Yeah.
Yeah. And men and boys from that age, you keep telling them, don't cry because I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Allow them. That doesn't make them into being gay, right?
Yeah.
I think people have this misconception that if you cry, you're gay.
Or you're soft.
Or you're soft.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them that, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. You're gonna be whoever, whatever.
Right. Right.
If you came to be gay or homosexual, that's who you're going to be, right? Whatever is inside of you,
right,
is going to speak to all of that.
That's what you're going to exercise.
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're all people. We gotta love each other, whether we look this way or we look that other way. We just really have to love each other just the way.
Yeah, the way it is. Yeah. You said a lot of things that stood out. I want to go into the peer pressure that young boys may experience, right? Because remember, I talked about the crowd that you're around, certain groups, and people are experiencing things earlier and earlier, right? People are doing things earlier and earlier than the time that we were growing up. So you may have a young boy that's outside, and there's another group of kids that's outside, and they may be a little bit more advanced than you, and they started doing some things that you're not used to, and you might be that young boy that wants to be accepted, right? So what can I do to be accepted into the crowd? What can I do to have this group of people like me? So people be like, well, we're smoking, we doing that, here, try this, right? So we know just about every young boy or young person been through this phase where they have experienced somebody introducing something to them or some kind of peer pressure, and it's like they have to make the decision on if they're gonna try it or they're gonna be like, no, this is not for me, I'm sorry guys. And now you have to deal with the consequences is if people are just gonna just let it be, or they're gonna be like, you're not cool. And now when you're in school, now you gotta deal with the things that people say. Are you cool? Are you not cool? You're not popular. You're not doing everything that everybody else is doing. But this is, as you grow, it is our job to teach our kids, but we're talking about boys today, right? And how it's not about popularity. It's about identity. It's about standing on your 2 feet, and you don't have to feel pressure to fit in with the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like if you're looked at as an outcast is not a bad thing. So it's okay to say no. You don't have to blend with everything.
Yeah. That's true. You young men out there, stand on your feet. You'll be all right, keep your head up and do that. Just know that greatness is born by perseverance in the face of adversity.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, there are few things worthy. No, there are few things worth doing that are easy.
Yes.
Right. So boys must learn to persevere in face of adversity, and through that will, it will lead to successful life.
Yeah,
We know we have a
overcoming.
lot. Yeah, we know we have some hills to to climb. There's a lot of different climates out there. Like things are happening on all fronts, racism, all sorts of stuff, and black boys especially have to deal with. But you will be okay, and that's my message.
Yes.
Just keep your heads up and keep pushing and feel right. At a young age, I know they tell you all the time, to suffocate that feeling inside and stuffing it up, be tough and stuff like that. But
Yeah, we as young boys, this is what I would say. Emotion is okay. Crying or releasing any kind of emotion does not make you weak. You're, and if anything, it makes you strong because you are in tune with your emotions. And the people who hold everything in, have up all these walls because they were told, like a lot of young boys were told, like, don't release. Oh, you're gonna be a man one day. Oh, you gotta be tough. Those same people that's telling you that, they're struggling. They're struggling with how to deal with people today. They're struggling with how to feel, right? Because when some things happen to you and that was really your moment to cry, your tears were forced back into you. So that's actually doing more damage. That's doing more damage. That's long-term damage because it's like, I feel that rolls into things like even when they get into like the teenage years and they may start like dating or like anything like that, certain things they're just not gonna be able to even feel.
Right.
Like on a relationship level, you can't connect because the shell is too hard. It's too hard, and you can't feel that person, and that person is trying to like pierce words like through you, and nothing is getting through you, and they're like, why you this way? And they don't understand that the damage that occurred before they even got there.
Yeah, I think a lot of times these boys need to know as well that they have someone that they can trust. And so this is for the moms out there, right? Talk to your sons about trusting someone. It could be you, or if there's someone that you see that you know that they can trust to talk about anything, let them in that way. Let them be able to. If it's you, I'm praying that it's you because you're mom, right?
Right.
I mean, sons sometimes take a lot of time. They take time to well, at least when they're growing, right? So they're like, I don't know if I trust my mom. She's gonna yell at me, or she's gonna say, go call your father, or whatever the case is, and get all crazy. Yes, females be getting all crazy and stuff. So if he can't trust you to be open and honest with him about anything, then find him someone that he can be open and honest to talk about anything. Because these boys need an outlet.
Yes, there you go.
They don't need to be suffocated with all this. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like, let them in. Let them, give them that room to open up, express themselves, and I promise you that it will be. Not everything is going to be perfect, but we have to open doors.
Right.
Let's be the generation that actually break all these things.
Yeah.
All these barriers down.
Yes.
All these obstacles that these kids are faced with. Let's build that for them. Let's create that safe space for them.
Yeah.
And it starts from within the house.
Correct.
You know, we have to start talking to them about the gangs that are out there, how they're going to be forced into, pressured into.
Yep.
We have to open that door to say, I'm here to talk about anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, whatever is on your mind. Who is best for you to talk to? And if you're not there because you think you're too busy, find someone else who's going to be there for son. Because then if they don't find that at home, they're running into these gangs because they think that's their family. That's my home. My boys got my back until my boys don't have my back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these things, we have to open up the door for these boys and just love on them because they're so precious, right? We need them. We need them. And if they don't know that we need them, what do they do? They go and they find the gangs. They go and they find other places that they think this is my new family.
Yeah.
Because they treat me better than I am treated at home.
I was just about to say, like, that happens a lot. Like, you know, I think back to our first episode. Our first episode was communication, right? And if the communication is weak in the home, that child is gonna go find a place that gives them better communication, right?
A place that they think someone is listening to them.
Yeah, because it's like if you never have the time, not now. That not now becomes so repetitive in their head. So now when they hear somebody that says, I have the time.
Yeah, come talk to me.
Come to me. What's on your mind?
That person can steer that child one way or the other.
Yeah, they have so much control.
Yeah, so much control over them and their actions.
Yeah.
So moms and dads, let's just try. We can start over. I mean, it's never too late to have that conversation.
Never.
And for the new ones that are your boys are now going into that teenage years, this is the perfect time for you to start building. And I always talk about building that relationship one-on-one with your child. Leave that door wide open for them to discuss anything and everything and their mother. Like, we have to do it. We have to break all those things from the past where everything is shut out. We don't talk about that in here. Why don't we talk about that in here?
Why?
Where are we going to talk about it?
Why? Right.
Where are we going to talk about it?
Yeah. I think sometimes when you hear that, for some, that we don't talk about that in here, you know, because they continue that on because their parents didn't talk about it where they was at. And they never, you'll be surprised, some adults never got to that place to figure out how to talk about it. So that we don't talk about it in here is really, we don't know how.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like avoidance. So it's certain topics, like it'd be so hard for you to even have like with your kids because you don't even know where to even start. Like, so it's like you look at your kids and you just hope that they don't bring up certain topics. So you're like, oh man, I really don't know where to go. Like with this, I don't know what to say.
That's why we came in the picture.
Hello.
So we can tell you where you start. You start. Hey, how's your day? How's it going? You want to talk about anything? You know we can talk about anything. There's no judgment here. You came from here. You came from me. You are my child.
Yes.
So we can talk about anything. Yeah. Even if you have to apologize, it's never too late. So I apologize to you. I know you always want to, and I haven't been there, but here I am now.
Yeah. Apology is never too late.
Yeah, no, apologize when you need to. Like, I'm big on that. It's like, I'm sorry if I know I'm wrong, and I acknowledge when I'm wrong and stuff like that. So moms and dads, open that door for the conversation. This conversation will continue into the other episode because we're running on time for this one.
Yes.
But we will be talking about, we're actually going to pull this over a little bit just to talk a little bit more about boys to men. The next conversation, the next episode will be about men's mental health.
Yes.
And that is, we thought it will be a great conversation to have.
It will be.
So we want to thank you again for sticking with us, and welcome to 2022.
Yes, 2022.
And look forward to bringing many, many more. But we will catch you next time on Two Chairs, One Chat.
Yeah.
We are your hosts. I am Derry Cox.
I am Rudolph Thurman.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Two Chairs, One Chat. Our personal IG is I am Derry Cox.
Mine is that's Poetry IZ visual. Poetry is visual.
Yeah. Okay. Until next time.
Who's chatting in the chairs?
We are.
All right.